Well, good morning, this is Carlos riding to my favorite spot for a run. I'm going to the golf course today to record my show, but first of all I have to drop off some empty cans. So I'm going to Fairways to get rid of my soda cans, and then I'll have to go across the street to the liquor store to get rid of my beer cans. Anyway, yesterday I got news from David Foss that he completed his 24-hour 100-mile challenge successfully. So glad for that. He always seems to manage to accomplish his goals. He is very well prepared, always. Anyway, he sent me a link to his run report, his race report, his event report, I should say. And I listened to it, and I was going to do something with it, but eventually I just realized that, you know, it was good just the way it was. I didn't have to add, subtract, or edit anything. So I left it. Today is going to be me recording my show. I think yesterday it was a bit of the beer talking. My new batch of beer is stronger than the last few that I've been making. Probably why it took a little longer to finish fermenting. So once I get onto the quiet of the golf course, I will continue this recording. But at the moment, I'm just getting myself to a place where I can lock up the bike and then run to the golf course. So until later, I will leave you with the sound of Blair Avenue as I head up towards Shelbourne Street. You're going to hear the familiar sound of the recycle truck in a minute. That's another reason why I was going to the golf course today. It is recycling day in my neighborhood. And one way of getting away from it is to go to the chip trail. They don't collect the recycling in that neighborhood. They're collecting it right here, right now. So that's better. I'm away from the noise now. I'm on Queenswood Drive, I think, or Queenswood Avenue. Have you noticed how most people in your neighborhood will just refer to the name of a street without specifying if it's a road, street, avenue, boulevard, or drive? Just passing Epsom Close. Pretty soon I'll be heading down towards Kings Pond and the chip trail. Last little push to the crest.
Time 10 minutes. Distance 1.32 kilometers. Average pace 7 minutes 3 seconds per kilometer. Cadence 80. Average heart rate 88. Workout average pace 7 minutes per
So 10 minutes into the run and about 8 minutes of cycling before that. Taking an early walk break. My heart is racing. It's bouncing all over the place. Often happens on Wednesdays. Yeah, so I'm crossing onto Queensbury Avenue. Going past the house with a nice, well-kept garden. I'm surprised the deer don't get to his plants. But I did notice he had a sprinkler system in the front yard, so maybe it's triggered at night by motion. If the deer get too close, they get sprayed. Mind you, that could explain why the garden's in such good shape, because they had sprinklers all the way down the front bed. So King's Pond on the chip. Hello. Hi. Hi. Saying hi to the children, not the ducks. They sometimes need to be reminded of where we are. They're too busy looking for ducks, and quite often I've had trouble with little kids not knowing where I'm going, stepping out in front of me. I guess they have that focused vision of the inquiring mind. They want to see the ducks. Alright, very soon I'll be running downhill again, so I might as well just anticipate the load a little earlier. Preload the heart muscle. This is going to be phenomenally busy. It already has been. The blackberry pickers have been here, picking like crazy. They tend to damage the bushes, trying to reach for the elusive fruit with their sticks and grabbers. Coming up on a guy I'll be hiking pretty soon as well. Yep. We'll all be hiking this in a minute. Hi. Hello. It's a little too steep for me to run this.
Yeah, I find it hard enough to walk, never mind run.
Yeah, well, I try and run until it gets hard, and then I walk, and then when it gets to the top,
Start again?
I'm off again.
Uh-huh.
Keep the heart happy.
Oh, yes.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, this is twice a week over here.
Good for you. How far is it? 3.3 all the way around the chip?
No idea.
No,
Don't care. It's
No.
46 minutes. That's what it is.
That's good. Yeah, I started at Fairways on Cedar Hill Road.
Yeah.
By Mackenzie. And I'll be finishing off there in about 25 minutes, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe half an hour.
Distance 1.97 kilometers.
One of those
Average pace
things
7
you
minutes,
decide
43 seconds per kilometer.
how much
Cadence
you want to do
75.
and
Average heart rate
Yeah, and at what
77.
effort
Workout
level.
average pace 7 minutes, 36
like
seconds
this
per
is
kilometer.
an effort day for me
It is? Okay.
because I usually walk at Henderson.
Oh, I know that place. Beautiful little course there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, I should be running now.
Where you go then? I won't stop you.
Bye-bye. Nice chatting.
See you.
Hello. One man with 3 dogs on leashes. Yeah, it's nice to chat with people. Makes my run a little more entertaining. Plus, when I'm recording, you get to hear a little bit more than just me and Samantha. I think I downloaded David's show. What I'll do is in a minute, on my next hike break, I will start that show and we can listen to it as I run.
Zone 1.
Zone 1. Yep, I got it downloaded. A great day to do great things.
Want to go for a walk? Let's go. Hello, my friend.
Hello,
Zone 3.
Dave.
It is me. It is just plain Dave. And today, this week only, going by the Beast. It's
The
true.
Beast.
After successfully completing my 100-mile ultramarathon, the number one word choice of friends and folks who responded and wished congratulations
Hi.
and words of support and amazement were, "You are a beast." I wonder why that is. What is it that makes a
'Cause he
beast
is a
able
beast.
to do things that are just beyond the limits of human capacity? So, apparently not beyond the limits. Another friend said, "Gosh, Dave, isn't it crazy to think that you could run to Boston and back and and still have time to keep going?" And I thought to myself, yeah, if someone would give me food and water every half an hour, that would not be as challenging as it might appear as just a straight line on a map. Anyway, I am so happy to share with you
We're
that
so happy
the Anchor
too.
Down Ultra this past Friday and Saturday was a resounding success. And it was a grand adventure, and I learned a ton, and I can't put it all into one story, so I think I'm going to do a couple of short blurbs and share my thoughts. It was absolutely amazing. Word on the weather, perfect. What could you wish for in August? Perfect. Did I say that right? Perfect. Nice, comfortable low 70s to start, not too humid. Got into
Zone 4.
the low 60s
Hello.
overnight, mid 60s overnight. Little bit of mist.
Here comes
keeping
another
you cool
runner.
pre-dawn hours. And then a nice
Hello, Andrew.
August day with the max temp in the low 80s, 80, 81 degrees. A little bit of sunshine, mostly cloudy.
More of the blackberry
Unbelievably nice.
devastation
If there's a
here.
single weather complaint, and believe me, this is no complaint, it's that when you're running for 10 or 11 hours in the dark and the planets are aligned so that there's a full moon that night, it would have been great to have a little bit of moonshine. And by moonshine, I mean, light, not beverage. And, but it was cloudy. It was overcast. The moon, barely had a hazy little peak here and there. We saw, a glow in the clouds.
Hi.
It was mostly just cloudy and dark. So, but no complaints. Really great. Physically,
Hello.
things went really, really well. But that's not what I'm going to
So
talk
the
about right now.
golf course.
Actually, one
is
feeding and fueling thing that I'll share
quite
with you.
busy, really.
I haven't done
Time
all
20
that,
minutes.
so-
Distance 2.71 kilometers. Average pace 6 minutes 46 seconds per kilometer. Cadence 80. Average heart rate 114. Workout average pace 7 minutes 23 seconds per kilometer.
My go-to food.
Time for hydration.
Probably 30 times I ate watermelon going through the aid station. And if each time I ate about 3 small wedges of watermelon. So that's like about 90 small wedges of watermelon. I think I ate a watermelon.
Yeah, I think
So,
you did.
in a 100-mile
I
race,
love watermelon.
I ate a watermelon. I ate other stuff too. But I kind of look at that and think, wow, that's pushing a lot of fuel through your system. So the numbers, 41 laps, total of 100.45 official miles. My Garmin had me just over 102. And in the grand scheme of things, that's probably correct. Like, I don't think I ran the cleanest
Zone 3.
around the whole course. And isn't that scary? Like, you don't run the cleanest line and you run 2 extra miles. And if your average pace is 14 minutes per mile, I ran for half an hour extra just by not running clean lines. But I'll get to why that doesn't matter, why it was worth it, every extra step that I took. Total time, 23 hours, 16 minutes, comfortably under 24. I might have been able to go a little faster, but I'm also going to say that didn't matter. My goal was to do 100 miles in 24 hours. I was
Good
not trying to
man.
beat any clock. I
That's
was
the
not
way to
pushing
do it,
myself
Dave.
so fast that I could risk injury. I did what I had to do to achieve my goal, and I will give my
Oh,
coach some
starting
credit
to
for that.
rain
I
again.
think he was very, very clear with me on, like, have a purpose, have a single purpose, achieve that single purpose. Like,
Zone 4.
no fluff goals out there, no extra goals, no B goals, no C goals. Besides, like, stay healthy, don't hurt yourself. Like, that was, like, the main thing. Don't get injured.
Zone
But
3.
beyond that, there was only one goal. Single-minded, single purpose. And to that point, prior to the race,
Hello.
I had a perfectly restful day. I took the Friday off from work, totally had rest, prepping my stuff, which, of course, if you know me, was mostly prepped ahead of time. So there wasn't any real active stuff I had to be doing.
No.
Got down early to
He's
where the race
always
course
Mr.
was, set
Ever
up my
Ready.
little transition tent about 4 feet from the edge of the course. So literally, I could lean over a little wooden rail and grab whatever I wanted out of my tent. And then when I saw that other people had set up
I'm
stuff
going to
actually
pause this in
inside
a
the
second
rail of the
because
course,
it's going to get
I put my
noisy.
chair there. So I knew if I had to change a
And I'm
pair of
going to be
shoes, I could
passing
sit in
some
my chair
people.
and I'd have to leave the act.
Hello. Hi.
Hi, good morning. You can't hide anywhere. You've got tabs on you, I tell you.
On me?
With your phone.
Oh, yeah, no, that's true. Even if you don't remember to start your GPS, Google's watching you anyway.
that's
Yeah,
right,
I know.
yes,
I
what he
saw
said.
that
If you go to-
documentary.
If you go to Timeline, it'll show where it thinks you've been.
Yeah.
And then it asks you, did you go to the University Heights? And you say, yes, I
And then
did.
you'll get an ad from
University Heights.
Yeah, University Heights and 4 different companies.
Yeah, it's true. Eh? It's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm going to start running in a second once this levels off.
Oh, that's all right.
Yep. Nice chatting with you. What's the name of your dog?
Maybe
Annie.
Annie. Hello, Annie.
Yeah, Annie.
As in Harry Chapin's song,
Oh,
Mail
yeah.
Order
Remember
Annie.
that?
Okay, I
I don't know
don't...
if you're familiar
About
with
the
the
gold
song.
No,
miners
no.
in the Yukon, the central lines. and they
I
arrived
was
on
brought up in the UK, so
Well, we were too, yeah.
I didn't hear much country music until I got to Quebec.
Well, it's country, kind of
He's
country
not
jazz.
country, he's
It's
folk.
kind of folk jazzy, but he died in his 30s. He was killed in a car crash.
He's a great folk music artist.
He was a yeah.
I heard
Kind of
an
few
interesting podcast yesterday from the BBC about the comedians back in the day with
Oh right.
Tommy Cooper. Did you hear
Oh yeah.
that one?
Fizz.
How they used to drink like fishes, and they'd
Did
have
they?
their script all organised,
Oh.
and then they go into and they'd go into the green room and get hammered,
Yeah.
and then they would mess up their lines in the show. But what he said was
Told
that
better jokes.
in England, the lifestyle was drinking for the comedians,
Yeah.
and they all died young.
Yes.
Whereas in North America, people like George Burns and Bob Hope and Bing
Yeah.
Crosby, they all got into their 90s because
More clean living.
they were living much cleaner. They all moved to California.
Yeah,
They all
that's
had to be up early in the morning for filming.
Mind you, they were in California as opposed to Manchester.
Yeah. Anyway, I will see you later.
All right, go enjoy your run.
Distance
Bye-bye.
24 kilometers. Average pace 9 minutes 26 seconds per kilometer. Cadence 66. Average heart rate
I'm now chasing
132.
somebody who I have no
Workout pace 7 minutes,
chance
43 seconds
of
per
catching.
kilometer.
She is way too fast for me. Okay, so we're going to hang a left here. They're doing some kind of improvements here. Maybe they're going to put some signage. Something like that.
Zone 3.
Hello, jogger behind you. Hi. Thank you. Well, the girl that I didn't think I would catch, I am closing slightly on her. But very soon I'm going to be hiking the hill. She no doubt will be running it. Hello.
Zone 4.
Yep. I do get excited so easily. But that's where the heart strain comes from. Before the day of accurate monitoring, you just ignored
Zone 3.
the discomfort and pushed through it. Which is a good way to overstress the heart, give you peak performance for a short period of your running life. There's some geese to my left as I start my hike up the big hill. Behind the rec center and before the vanilla ice cream shop house. Let me start Dave off again. He's got a lot to say. You can catch the whole of his show without me butting in on Spreaker.
Full course, which was perfect. And then, which meant I was there early, but of course.
Another
so I just
early
spent plenty of
bird.
time resting in my tent. I knew I was never going to fall asleep, but I brought a book to read, and I listened to people, and I chatted with folks because I do that.
Hi
I
there.
like to chat.
Zone 3.
And there were
So
some
he has
people,
a habit of chatting
who
too,
set up
eh?
a canopy right next to me. They had 12 or 15 runners, some good number of runners, all from the same running club, which is called Run 169. And that's the number of municipalities, cities, and towns, for those of you playing in Solvay, number of municipalities in Connecticut, 169. And their goal is to run a race in every community in Connecticut. Could be a mile, doesn't matter, but it has to be an official race. And I thought, that's a cool goal. That'd be neat to try to do in Massachusetts, except there's 351 municipalities in Massachusetts, and some of them
Zone
are on
4.
islands.
Only Dave would know that.
I won't argue that. But some of those islands aren't really big enough for a race. So, you've heard of Martha's Vineyard.
Okay,
They
I'm off
probably have
again.
a race. You've heard of Nantucket. They probably have a race. But have you heard of Gosnold? Gosnold is a town at the end of the Elizabeth Islands, which is that little strip of islands that comes off the
Zone
south
3.
Woods Hole on Cape Cod. And Gosnold is not big enough to have a race. This is a bunch of really little islands. So that'd be a tough place to try to achieve this 351. But I
Zone 4.
So anyway, these are super nice folks. I'm listening to them, chatting with them. They are not local as much as I am.
Here comes
very much
Andrew
local.
again.
And they were looking for a place to go grab a bite to eat. So I happily recommended a nearby bakery that makes sandwiches and things. And
Hi.
you know what's cool? Is I got all these little pops of dopamine in my brain when they came back and said thank you and how grateful they were that I recommended
Hi.
them lunchbox. I didn't even buy them lunch. I just said, hey, go to the Beehive. It's a really good place for lunch. I like it. It's where I go after I run here. Anyway, it's so interesting when you're
Okay,
heating to your
climb
body, and so
and hike.
you can tell when you're getting these little positive
Zone 5.
emotional hits.
Just coming up to
And the
the
reason I mentioned that is because of
catalpa
people like
trees.
Time 30 minutes. Distance 3.94 kilometers. Average pace 7 minutes 8 seconds per kilometer. Cadence 76. Average heart rate 137. Workout average pace 7 minutes 36 seconds per kilometer.
And I got to have some little virtual
Zone 4.
very real dopamine hits before the race as I rested in my tent, because the Extra Mile Facebook group was sending me kudos and words of support and kindness and positive energy, and it was magical.
Good for them.
And it just happened again. That is so cool. I can just talk about people giving me positive support, and I get little dopamine hits, that little shiver down the back of your spine, that positive hit in your brain. It's really cool. It's amazing what neurochemistry can do. I can see why some things can be addictive if you start getting the positive hits. Anyway, I had friends from all over sending words of support
Zone 3.
and prayers, if that's their thing. And it was so nice and so amazing. And there I sat and I rested. And I overheard in one tent people talking about food and saying things like, "Are you going to have pickles?"
Zone 4.
I don't know. Are you going to have peanut butter and jelly sandwiches? And things like that. And how many pairs of shoes do you think you're going to wear? And I love it. It's so interesting. Like, people all know what they want and what they expect. But when you're doing something different and at your limit and maybe something a little bit bigger and grander than you've ever done, you just never know. So you're thinking about it, you're talking about it, and
So the
wondering.
rain is
And I was
continuing.
thinking to myself that these are my people.
Too bad.
People who want to go on a grand adventure, and maybe that
Now
involves
hotter
pickle juice.
and wetter
And I
from
think you might
sweat
remember I had that
in
experience back
from
in
the
May.
rain.
But another
Less
conversation
effort
that I overheard, people in the
induced.
169 tent were saying, "Gosh, oh, they're selling t-shirts. I think I'm going to get a t-shirt." Someone else says, "Ooh, they have a really cool cap. I'm going to go get a trucker's cap." Someone else said, "Did you see that? You can buy a patch. I'd love to have a patch on my backpack, but I didn't know you could just buy a patch." And they're all going over there and they're buying their swag. And I think to myself, there's only one thing that I want. There's one thing that I want to go home
A
with tomorrow,
buckle.
and it's a belt buckle. It's that little belt buckle that says 100 miles in one day.
Not so
And you
little.
can't buy it, right? You got to earn it. Ah, the dopamine hit just happened again. This is awesome. Just telling you stories is giving me chills.
Me too,
I hope
Dave.
you guys have some positive experience too. Anyway, I'm sitting there in my tent, probably getting that positive spirit because I got the belt buckle. Love the belt buckle. Anyway, I'm sitting there thinking, this is what I want. Like, single-minded purpose. Here's my goal. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be smart. I'm going to run steady. I'm going to do the right things, not put myself at risk, and I'm going to run 100 miles. And so, there was a race. It was great. As I mentioned, the weather was great. The part of the story that I want to tell is about 2 miles in. So right after about one lap, right? I mentioned 41 laps. Each lap is 2.45 miles. So somewhere in that end of the first lap, beginning of the second lap, I connected with a young woman. She's about 28 years old. Her name is Hana. Rhymes with the city in Hawaii, but spelled like the Old Testament name Hannah. But it's Hana, and Hana is her name. Hana had a goal of showing up that night. Her goal was to run something in the 80s, maybe 85 miles. That was her goal. Can I do 85 miles?
Hello.
And knowing the field, like you could see who was registered ahead of time, her goal was to podium. Top 3 women, that was her goal. So sometime around 2 miles into this race, we're running together. Our pace is really even. We're going at a nice clip. She is clearly running my pace. And we start having this conversation. And, you have a conversation. Things go from here to there and there to here. And I say to her, Hana, you're running 100 miles tonight. I think my goal, and my number 1 goal is I'm running 100 miles. My number 2 goal is I'm dragging you to 100 miles. Well,
I think you did.
17 and a half hours later, and the range of topics that we discussed, you normally only discuss with your primary care physician.
Hello.
But
Jogger behind you.
17 and a half hours of running
Thank you.
together, we're at mile 75
Hi.
together. We
Run
ran
behind.
together for 70-something miles, something over 73 miles. And it was great. She was great. She was positive. I was generally positive. When I had a little bit of a low spot, she was there to offer me
That's why you need somebody at night.
She had a couple of little low spots. I was there to offer her
share
guidance, comfort, and support.
the low
And we
spots.
ran together for 17 and a half
It's
hours.
unlikely that you both
She
have.
told me,
Low
one of the
spot
things
at
I
the
learned,
same
she's
time.
been dating a guy for a couple of months, and I said, I think we probably spent more time together than
Hello.
you and your boyfriend, to be perfectly honest. And she said, yeah, it's not even close. And so, one thing.
Time 35 minutes. Distance 4.65 kilometers. Average pace 7 minutes 2 seconds per kilometer.
Hello.
Cadence 80. Average heart rate 145. Workout average pace 7 minutes 31 seconds per kilometer.
So I'm going to use two examples. One, I was wearing some compression shorts, and somewhere around hour 11,
Now
right,
he's
so let's just
talking
talk in hours out of a 24
about
hours, 11
chafing.
hours in, 13 hours to
Chafing
go.
story.
I've got this chafing in my waistband, like so, not where anything's really moving, just kind of where your waistband touches your skin.
All right, well,
And I kind of peel down
because
the edge,
I'm going to be finishing
holy
this
cow, it
loop
looks like I'm wearing a red belt, like
pretty soon,
a nasty welt all
I
the way
will
around
stop
my waist. And then I look
this
at the
gruesome
bottom where the compression short touches around
business
the ring of
about
your
his
quad, and it looks like
chafing.
someone has branded me.
But you'll
I'm
have to
thinking,
listen to
oh
the
my
whole
gosh,
show
I am
for
chafed.
yourself.
Like, I think at that point we'd had a little bit of misty rain. It really wasn't that hot, but it was, not ideal.
Okay.
Anyway, I will just say, I was chafed.
I
in a
recommend
way
listening
that
to the rest of
you should
Dave
never have to experience.
while I
And
finish off my show.
So, and she was suffering similarly.
But you'll have
We
to
said, okay,
tune
you know
in.
what? We're making a good clip. This
on
is, we
Spreaker.
actually had planned to wait.
Well, he did 17 and a half hours with Hannah. And I'll let you find out how that went. Alright, so I'm just finishing off, as I say, finishing my loop. I'll be on the noisy side streets very soon, and then I'll be heading back after getting rid of my empty cans.
Zone 2.
So in a way I did share with you some of Dave's show without actually physically having to edit it. I had it all queued up, mind you. I could have done.
Zone 4.
He also sent me an audio recording that he made, or his son made, at home of when Charles Lindbergh flew in and landed on US soil for the first time after crossing the Atlantic. Well, there is a tie-in with Victoria. Don't know if you know this, but shortly after he'd recovered from his flight, he was engaged and married. And part of their honeymoon flight across the US brought them to Victoria. I think they might have been flying to Seattle, and they stopped off at Victoria at the Lansdowne Airport. This was back almost exactly 100 years ago. The other thing about Lindbergh is that he was one of the first big news events after the end of the war. I think it's that year. Yep. It would have been the 1418 war. So it would have been in 1919, 100 years ago, when Charles Lindbergh landed with his new wife in Victoria, BC, Canada. And I believe they stayed at the Empress Hotel. But as you already know, don't expect empirical data from this man. I could be completely wrong, but there you go. You want the truth? You have to Google it. as I come up to Cedar Hill Crossroad, I will say bye-bye on my Wednesday episode of the Running Jackal podcast. Bye-bye.